Just a disclaimer before we start. I refuse to do two takes, so whatever comes out of my mouth, I'm gonna keep it. And also, trigger warning for later, things. Yes. Self-harm and, eating disorders and stuff and blood and nastiness, I guess. I don't know. Hello. I realize I have not been the most active on this account, and I am here to explain why. Over the past couple of months, I've been struggling with my inability to make decisions, and I began to continuously been leaving and then coming back to the gacha community. If you follow my main channel, you would know that I still wanted to post, just not gacha. Also, I simply lost interest in making ZARIA'S Lore series. I also thought I would explain ZARIA'S Lore since it is a bit unclear with the extra vids in between. Zaria was born in the year 1009, a time period in her planet called Magma. She was born into a loving family with two dads. Her dad with black hair, who was intersexual and able to have children whom she'd call Dad, and the other dad whom she called Pa, and an older sister named Daisuke, who was 10 at the time she was born. Jesus. Her Pa and later her sister, who were the champions of Magma, both fought in the wars and battles against other planet, Magma being on the more villainous side. While her dad was a writer who predominantly wrote poems but also children's books, her and her dad loved to write together. She was born with black hair and yellow eyes as her dad's. When Zaria was around 9, her sister and her Pa left to go to war with the #1 champion in another planet who was on the hero side. Sadly, Daisuke had died in the war by being stabbed in the stomach by a throwing axe. This, of course, was devastating to Zaria, and her life became really difficult because she was diagnosed with autism about a year later, and was getting bullied really badly by this girl named Isamu. Around this time, she was spending a lot of time with her best friend named Saki, who noticed Zaria would often stop eating or get really sick after eating. One time, when they were both around 12 years old, Saki walked into Zaria having a really bad depressive episode where she was covered in scars and blood that she had made herself. When Zaria turned 14, she began battling to take place for her sister and hopefully eventually kill the person who killed Daisuke at age 15. Wait, I read that not right. At age 15, Zaria met Charlie, who is by gender and uses he/she pronouns. At the time, he was definitely more masked and also dating this guy named Alex, who was against his/her will. Isamu was talking crap about Zaria's brother Zed, who is her twin, and Zaria, being overprotective, decided to take charge and attack Isamu. Charlie then stepped in and attempted to separate them, but that only made Zaria madder and hate Charlie. They remained enemies before they slowly started to fall for each other and began dating around a year later. Zaria, 16, and Charlie, 15. One day, Zaria went into war with someone who was completely incognito, and there was absolutely no telling of their identity, who we later find out was the same person who killed Daisuke. Great. Unfortunately, Zaria was killed in this battle, but Charlie got her into the hospital fast enough where they could do a revival, who would also make her immortal, I don't know why I said who, and 16 years old forever. The only thing that could kill her was a certain attack method that was extremely difficult to use, in fact, near impossible. Then Charlie committed suicide, but before he did, he had forced the doctor to put the same curse on him so they could be immortal together. The two dated for about 5 years before Zaria proposed, and then they got married, and later had 2 children, a bigender/intersex and a boy, the bigender being named Aaron, and the boy being named Delta. Another year passes, and Zaria finally goes to war with the person who killed her sister. But she is devastated to find out that that person who killed Daisuke was her friend, Akemi, who she had met right before she died the first time. She fought with her childhood friend Saki. Unfortunately, Akemi, who taught the curse that could kill any immortal, and Zaria was permanently killed. Saki killed Akemi, and Charlie raised their children alone. To answer a couple of questions such as, why did she dye her hair blue? Why did her hair turn blue? Why did her horns and eyes turn red after the revival? She dyed her hair blue simply because she wanted to look more like her pa, because she really liked the blue hair. And her horns and eyes turned red after the revival because the certain revival spell made her switch genes. So, yeah, Also, why did Charlie only become a demon later in life? Simply because he is a different species of demon who isn't really born with the demon genetics. They kind of grow into it. They form it. While Zaria was born with everything, like the horns and the tail and the able to transform into a scarier demon or whatever. Yeah. So Charlie can't really do that. He is stuck the way he is forever, and he formed into the horns. They just appeared randomly. So yeah. I apologize for my speech, major slurring, stuttering, and bad English. I am dyslexic, and it's not fun sometimes. But that's about it. That's Zaria's lore. If you want to hear Charlie's lore, I'd have to ask my friends, because I actually wasn't the one who created Charlie. I only created Zaria. So yay. They gave me permission to use Charlie, because I think it was kind of their idea, I guess. I don't know. Just let me know if you want Charlie's lore too. I'd have to ask my friend. But goodbye.